This video is for 6-3, Work Together. We're going to be completing the last two columns of our worksheet. Use the worksheet from Work Together 6-2. Your instructor will guide you through the following examples. Number 1, extend the up-to-date balances to the balance sheet and income statement columns. Okay, so here's an income statement column and it has a debit and credit. And then here's our balance sheet, debit and credit. Now, which of these accounts are balance sheet and which ones are income statement? Well, remember, balance sheet is going to be our assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. And so if I take a look at that, it's going to be all of those, so the first 8 lines. And if you'll notice, this is where income summary comes into play. So if you can remember that everything above income summary is the balance sheet, and everything below income summary is the income statement. And that will help you when you're extending things over. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the balance from the trial balance and then either add or subtract the adjustment and then put it in the appropriate column. Now if there's no adjustment, then we just extend the value over. And remember, this goes into the balance sheet columns. So I have 9,800, 150, 2,795. Then I get to one where I have an adjustment. So I'll take the 456, which is a debit. This is a credit, so I'm going to subtract. And I get 325, which is the amount of supplies we had on hand if we were to look back at the chapter before this, or the unit before this. Okay, we also have 750 minus 250, which gives us 500, which is the value of prepaid insurance after we've made all of our payments. Okay, then we have one in the credit column, 555. Another one that is a credit, 14,885. And then I have another debit, 3,400. And that takes me to the end of the balance sheet accounts. Here's my income summary account. So now the rest of these accounts are going to go into the income statement section. So I have sales, that is a credit of 4,320. Then I have a debit, 931. This one was blank before. Now I have a debit of 250. So I just pull that over. 378. And then this one was blank, and now I have a debit of 131. And then 1,100. So if you notice, there's only one credit and the rest are debits in that income statement. All right, now we're going to single rule across all 4 of these columns. And we're going to get totals. Now I just want to let you know, debits are not going to equal credits on these columns, and it should make sense in just a minute why they don't. Okay, go ahead and use a calculator to get your totals. All right, so I have 2,790. And then I only have one number there, so I'm just going to pull that one down. Then I go to my balance sheet columns. And I have 16,970. And then I have 15,440. Okay, then what we're going to do is I'm going to find out what is the difference between my sales and my expenses, which would be revenue minus expenses is our income, or how much money we made. So I'm going to take the larger number minus the smaller number. So 4,320 minus 2,790, which gives me 1,530. And I'm going to write it underneath the smaller number. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's see, this one is the larger number, so 16,970 minus 15,440, and that is 1,530, and I'm going to write it underneath the smaller one. Now look, this is a debit and this is a credit, and they are the same amount. If these two are the same amount, that means we did everything just perfectly. Our debits are equaling our credits. And we'll see how that works, because now we're going to single rule across these four again. And we're going to total these. So I'm going to take 2790 plus 1530, and I should get 4,320. And then I just carry that one down, and my debits equal my credits on this side, so I'm going to double rule. So I make a thicker single rule, and then I move down just a little and make my double rule. Now same thing's going to happen over here. I have 16,970, then I'm going to add these together. And I get 16,970. My debits equal my credits, so I double rule. Okay, now what does this mean? Here's what I kind of want you to memorize. If my sales are greater than my total expenses, that means I made money. It means I have a net income. So I would write over here net income, and we can see that our net income is 1,530. Those are the two outside numbers. Now if it were the other way around and my expenses were greater than my sales, then that means I would have these two numbers inside here, and over here I would write that I have a net loss. Okay, so it's not always going to be that the outside is where this number goes. Sometimes our sales are less than our expenses and our company lost money for that fiscal period. So if both of your numbers here end up in the middle instead of the outside, you would write net loss over here on this side. Okay, you are now ready to complete 6-3 on your own.